You are looking at a category of gaming monitor that is basically designed to push both speed and visual quality at the same time, instead of choosing one over the other. A 27-inch QD OLED panel with a 1440p resolution and a 280Hz refresh rate is clearly aimed at high-performance PC gamers. But what makes it interesting is not the specification list itself, but how those specs come together in actual day-to-day use. From the moment the display turns on, the difference is immediately noticeable. OLED technology removes the need for a traditional backlight, which means each pixel controls its own light output. That alone creates perfect blacks, but QD OLED enhances this further by improving color brightness and volume. The result is a screen that feels more three-dimensional, especially in darker scenes where traditional monitors often lose detail. Instead of flat shadows or grayish blacks, everything feels layered. Bright elements stand out more naturally without overpowering the image, which creates a sense of depth that standard IPS panels struggle to replicate. Color reproduction is another area where this panel stands out. It does not just aim for saturation, but balance. Skin tones, environments, and lighting effects all appear more refined and controlled. Even outside of gaming, like browsing or content consumption, the difference in visual clarity is noticeable. But the biggest highlight of this display is motion performance. A 280Hz refresh rate combined with OLED-level pixel response times creates a level of smoothness that feels almost instantaneous. Fast movements in competitive games appear clean, with almost no visible blur. Quick camera turns, tracking targets, or flick aiming all feel more connected and responsive. Compared to lower refresh rate monitors, even 144Hz or 240Hz, the jump is still noticeable in fast-paced environments. It is not just about smoother animation, but about reducing the delay between input and what appears on screen. That responsiveness is what competitive gamers actually feel in real situations. Adaptive sync technology helps maintain consistency when frame rates fluctuate. Instead of tearing or stuttering, gameplay remains stable, which is especially useful in demanding titles where performance is not always perfectly locked. HDR performance on QD OLED panels also deserves attention. Bright highlights can reach impressive intensity while still preserving shadow detail. This means explosions, reflections, and lighting effects appear more realistic without washing out darker parts of the scene. Unlike many LCD-based HDR implementations, the contrast remains intact across the entire image. Design-wise, the monitor follows a minimal approach. Thin bezels on all sides help keep focus on the screen, and the stand provides basic ergonomic adjustments, including tilt support. It is also compatible with VESA mounting, which allows for more flexible desk setups or multi-monitor configurations. The rear layout is clean and practical, focusing on essential connectivity rather than unnecessary complexity. HDMI and display input support ensures compatibility with modern GPUs and gaming systems without issues. One important consideration with any OLED-based display is long-term usage behavior. Burn and protection features have improved significantly over time, but static UI elements over extended periods can still leave temporary or permanent marks depending on usage habits. For most users, normal mixed usage keeps this risk low, but it is still something to be aware of. Another factor is resolution at this size. 1440p on a 27-inch screen is widely considered a sweet spot for gaming performance and clarity balance. However, users coming from 4K displays may notice a difference in sharpness when reading text or working on detailed productivity tasks. This monitor is clearly optimized more for motion and responsiveness than extreme pixel density. What defines this display is focus. It is not trying to be a universal monitor for every type of user. Instead, it targets a very specific experience where speed, responsiveness, and image quality need to exist together without compromise. For esports and competitive gaming, this combination is extremely effective. High refresh rate, near instant response times, and OLED contrast create a level of clarity that supports fast decision-making in game environments where reaction time matters. At the same time, it does not fall apart outside gaming. Media playback benefits heavily from OLED contrast and color performance, while general use feels more visually refined compared to standard LCD panels. The overall experience is best described as immediate. Everything from cursor movement to in-game action feels tightly synchronized with input. That sense of connection is what separates high-refresh OLED monitors from traditional gaming displays. There are still trade-offs, as expected. OLED technology requires some awareness regarding static elements over long periods, and 1440p resolution is not the absolute sharpest option available today. But those compromises feel intentional rather than limiting. This monitor exists in a performance-focused space where the goal is not perfection in every category, but excellence in the most important ones for its audience. If the goal is to build a high-end gaming setup where responsiveness and visual quality both matter, this type of QD OLED 280Hz display represents one of the strongest current options in its category.